technology and the broader economy in the country. And I've been at Microsoft now for 32 years, lived through the client-server transition, and then the web and the internet, and subsequently the mobile cloud. And now here we are in the age of AI. I sort of describe this as the year 2 of the age of AI, and so I wanted to spend some time talking a little bit about the possibilities for everyone in the room in this age. Clearly, the scaling laws behind some of these next generation models continue to really surprise us and work in exponential ways. And you now have these capabilities, right? Whether it's take the natural language interface, right? Now, the original dream of the sort of founders of computing, like Engelbart, was always, can we have computers that understand us versus us understanding computers? We are finally at that point where you now have the most natural user interface, which can be speech and text and vision, both input and output, and it's just only getting more and more powerful. We also have more reasoning and planning capability, right? We have been digitizing information all through, but now you have a new reasoning engine and a planning engine to apply on top of all of that digitized information. And of course, you can add more context, more memory, both long-term and short-term memory to these interactions. So it's a pretty phenomenal pace with which the capabilities of these AI models, as well as the layers around the AI model, are all evolving. But ultimately, though, it's not about just the technology. To me, any technology is only useful if it can drive ultimately economic output and productivity in any country, right? So for me, what does this mean? It means ultimately in the region, what's the incremental GDP growth? Something like $155 billion, more than 14% incremental GDP growth is projected through AI across all sectors, right? It can be in healthcare, it can be in education, it can be in retail, it can be in energy. So that's the real opportunity of AI, and it's fantastic to see that opportunity, and to seize that opportunity, we ground ourselves in our mission to empower every person and every organization in Malaysia to be able to achieve more. That's ultimately how we want to realize our mission here. And to that end, we are building out a complete cloud infrastructure and a cloud stack, starting with infrastructure to data, to the tools, to the application layers, so that you can now have the power of all of this technology so that you can build more technology. Because we as a platform company are very, very focused on building world-class platforms to empower every developer, every company here to be able to build more. And of course, all of us collectively also want to drive business outcomes, right? Every organization wants to improve how they interact with customers, how they interact with their own employees, how they bring about efficiency in every business process internally, as well as bend the curve on innovation in any organization, right? Those are ultimately the business outcomes that we focus on. And to be able to sort of drive that is really our collective opportunity. Now, to go about it, I would say there are 3 things that any organization, whether it's in public sector or in private sector, whether you're a small startup or a large company, that I think one should take advantage of. The first imperative for me is adopt the best, latest tools inside the enterprise, inside the organization. In other words, don't reinvent the wheel. And that was the inspiration behind Copilot. We wanted to build out Copilot so that you have the ability to tap into the world's knowledge, as well as knowledge inside your organizations, and then to be able to really act on that knowledge. That was the vision behind Copilot. We best captured it, I would say, in an ad that we played at the Super Bowl a few months ago, so I just wanted to roll that video to give you a flavor for it.
Morning.
I truly love the spirit it captures, right? It's not about the technology, it's about watching me do things, right? It's the ability to create, whether it's a document, an image, or code. It's about being able to decide, make better judgment decisions, and then ultimately to act on all of it, right? So to me, that's the real power of AI in the hands of every person in every organization. And you're already seeing unbelievable data around productivity, right? So when we deploy Microsoft 365 Copilot, we're seeing organizations able to move things faster. In fact, just like how in supply chains people talk about inventory turns, we talk about knowledge turns. That means knowledge is getting created faster and diffused faster throughout the organization. Supply chains are more efficient. Financial operations are more efficient. Your customer operations are more efficient. So we really see, of course, in software development, we're seeing that with GitHub Copilot, which is tremendous to see. Even with things like Copilot Studio, it's even for the low-code, no-code folks that really are driving productivity. So the Copilot age is clearly here, I would say, really getting these deployed. In fact, right here in Malaysia, we have many examples of customers, like Petronas is deploying it across the board, PNB, AmBank, as well as the public sector is deploying it inside. Prima is deployed it to just make themselves more efficient and the workflows more efficient inside the organization. So it's good to see how quickly this technology is not just being developed, but is being diffused and used throughout the organization. Now, talking about software developers, GitHub, of course, is the place where developers call home. And it's great to see that we have more than 600,000 developers right here in Malaysia. It's growing 28% year over year, so there's tremendous amount of growth in the GitHub community. And one of the fascinating things has been Copilot for GitHub, right? We conceived, in fact, that's probably the first hit product of this generative AI age. And when we conceived it a few years ago, when we said there can be an AI pair programmer for every software developer, little did we know that it would become the thing that every software developer now loves to use to be able to sort of really bring back the joy in programming, bring back the flow in programming, because in some sense we had taken some of that out because of so much of the stuff that was happening out of band from, say, even being immersed in your IDE and staying in the flow. And the AI pair programmers brought that back. And now, yes, a couple of days ago, we launched the next phase of it, which I think is going to be really revolutionary, which is GitHub Copilot Workspaces is in technical preview, which completely now takes what is just a Copilot, which is an AI prayer programmer, to the next level where you now start with an issue that comes in, a plan gets generated, that plan that you can then as a developer edit, and then that plan gets executed across the entire repo. That means you can edit multiple files, accept the changes, and then you put a pull request. So think about what an entire workflow of a software engineering team looks like with GitHub Copilot Workspaces. So to show you that, I want to invite up on stage my colleague Karan to show you GitHub Copilot Workspaces and GitHub Copilot. Karan, welcome.